Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. It's the Man Reprogrammer, back today to talk about something that I've personally been trying to understand, and I thought, why not speak about something that I'm currently going through, so it can be this collaborative type of channel where I share what I'm thinking and you guys let me know in the comments. But today's topic is called the power of prayer. Now, first things first, when I say prayer, I know it brings up so much stuff for people. The traditional everybody putting their hands on their head and saying in the name of Jesus, you know, or whatever that means to you, because that's what it meant to me growing up. But as I've gotten older, I'm beginning to have a new relationship with prayer. And that's why I wanted to kind of make a video on it so we can kind of discuss and understand and hopefully get a better understanding about how to do it. But first of all, let's break it down, because you know I love to break it down. First things first, what is prayer? Now, when I think about what prayer is, in my mind, the way that I see it is that prayer is focalized intention. So when I say focalized intention, have you ever seen a funnel before? When I say a funnel, your request is going in the funnel and it is coming down underneath it and it's being sent to where it needs to go. So first of all, prayer is a focalized intention, and it's also a direct request to achieve something, ask for something, or let go of something. So I'm hoping that that makes sense first of all. This is my understanding of what prayer is. Now, when I think about how to pray, or how I used to pray, it used to come from this place of a supplicatory type of way, which is I go on my knees and I beg, or I go on my knees and I ask as somebody that's not worthy of receiving to get something. And I'm here to let you know today that that type of praying, that type of asking might not be the best way for you to get your request answered. You see, when you pray, first of all, you need to make a distinction in your mind between who is the one that's asking when they're praying. Is it coming from the small self, which is the ego? I remember I've said before, in case you haven't heard this before, the ego is a composition of experiences that you have had in your life, and it is based upon this idea of wanting to believe that it is separate from others. So ego usually will ask for something because it feels that by getting it, it will achieve something or get what it thinks it needs. Remember, you are not your ego. Yes, there is a part of you and your ego is involved, but there is a wider part of you, a more expansive part of you. And that's the part of you that I like to call the true self, also known as the I am. You see, I've been thinking for a long time about my prayers and how I used to pray when I was younger. And it's very funny because when I think about my track record of praying, it's not that bad. Usually, if I ask for something, more than likely, it will reveal itself to me in some type of way. But as I'm beginning to get to this new place of realization and of understanding, I'm beginning to realize that I need to be very clear from where and who is praying when I ask for praying. You see, I work with a bunch of teachings, and there's this concept that I've been hearing a lot, and it's beginning to make sense now, that as a human being, you are a pluralized individual. And when I say pluralized, it means that there are many different facets to you as a person. There are many different perspectives and aspects of you. And even in my personal work in counseling, I'm beginning to see this actually reveal itself to me. So it's important that when you're praying, you need to know what part of the Rubik's Cube, when you see yourself like a Rubik's Cube, is the one that is actually praying. And that's why I want to invite you today, that when you pray, the first thing you do is center yourself. And when I say center yourself, that means bring all of your attention to your heart center. So if that means you need to put your hand on your chest, if that means you need to visualize that there's a chair and you're falling back into your heart, whatever way that is for you, find a way to center yourself. You see, when I was young and I was thinking about, and I would go to my parents and I would say to them, oh, how do I pray? And all of these concepts, and they will say you pray in the name of Jesus. You see, I ain't got a problem with Jesus. I think he's a great dude. I think he's actually one of the MVPs. But I also know that when Jesus was praying, he was very clear that him and his Father are one. When somebody says me and my Father are one, that means that there is no distinction or separation between the aspect that is requesting in prayer. Number two as well, when I used to read the Bible, there was a verse that always used to get my mind kind of frazzled. And it would say, do you not know that ye are gods? You see, that's been something I've struggled with for a long time. This concept and trying to understand that a part of me, a part of this Rubik's Cube is of God. And that's been my whole entire journey, my whole life, to understand how do I get to that place where I feel like I can speak from that place which is of God. And this is why when you're praying, you need to take it back to that place where you feel like the person that is talking, the person that is asking, has 100% confidence that they are asking for something from the place of your heart, which we will call the I am presence or the I am space. Because when you pray from that place that goes beyond name, goes beyond form, go beyond identity, you are now going directly into contact with the part of you that is of God. You are going into contact with the part of you that Jesus said, do you not know that ye are gods? You see, from my understanding, when he was saying that specific verse, he wasn't saying that your personality is the part of you that is the God, even though it is a part of God. He was speaking to that part of you that goes beyond name, goes beyond form, and we will call it the I am aspect of you. Because when you speak from that place, you have to know that what you're asking for has to come. You see, there's a verse in the Bible that I like, and it says, ask and you shall receive, knock and the door will open, and so on and so forth. You see, that part of that verse in the Bible, when I think about it now from this new perception, this new place that I'm at, who is the person that's going to be praying and asking and knowing it is so? It cannot be the ego. It can't. It's impossible. It is that part of you that goes beyond name, goes beyond form, goes beyond gender. You see, when you pray from that place that goes beyond all of that type of stuff, you see, everything changes. Because recently, I've been experimenting with this. Because I'm not going to make a video and not try something, because otherwise then I'm just talking. You see, I've been playing with all of these ideas, and I've been finding a way to get my awareness, to get my consciousness to a place where, first of all, I can feel like what I'm going to say, what I'm going to ask for is going to be so. And that's why in this video, I'm going to introduce it to you, and we'll do it together and see how you feel. And I'm going to break it down into sections so that what I'm saying can work. So like I've said, when you pray, you need to make sure that you're in alignment with that part of you that is your spirit, that is your soul. So the first thing you should do when you pray is either you learn to bring your awareness to your heart center, or you say, I align to my true self. That's the first thing. Allow your consciousness, allow yourself, allow your being to understand that you want to connect. You want to get to that place where there's no separation. You see, when Jesus said, I am my Father on one, you want to get your awareness to that place where you and your Father are one. So first of all, I align to my true self. Once you say that, feel it. Sit back into it. Relax into it. And then once you say, I align to my true self, you breathe in through your nose, you breathe out through your mouth, and then you say whatever it is that comes from your heart. You see, when you pray, you need to come from the heart and not the mind. Because the mind is only going to bring information up from past experiences. When you come from the heart will reveal to you truly what it is you need to ask for. 99% of the things that you want are things that are based upon experiences that you've had, based upon things that you've seen, based upon other people that have said, oh, I need this, I need that. In reality, if you bring your awareness to what your heart needs, you'll be very surprised that the things you're asking for, 99%, are not even monetary things. Majority of the time, if I'm being really honest with you guys on this video, I pray for love. I pray for peace. I pray for wisdom. I pray for understanding. You see, I pray for things that money can't buy. Because when you go beyond all of these ideas and all of these conceptions, what you're really left with is things that go beyond human understanding. And wisdom, peace, love, joy, all of these qualities, these are things, if I'm recalling correctly, is what is waiting for me in what we call the kingdom. You see, I'm going to take it even one step further. You see, I remember when I was young and I would go to my mum and I was maybe like, 7, 8. And then my mum would say to me, son, do you know what? I'll be like, what, mum? You see, son, when you pray, God is more likely to answer your prayers than he's going to answer mine. And I used to think, why? And it's because my mum used to say to me that, you see, only children will enter the kingdom of heaven. And that's very interesting, because when I think about what a child is, you see, a child is pure. A child don't really have that much preconceived notions, doesn't have that much prejudices, doesn't have that much biases. When you really think about it, we are the ones that instill all these things in children. So when you pray and you align to your true self, you want to come from that place from being a child. You want to come from that amazement, that wonder. You see, when the child comes to you and says, oh, daddy, can I have this? They're not thinking that they're not going to get it. They have 100% assurance, belief and faith that it's going to be theirs. You see, this is the type of way that you need to be praying. You see, I made this video today because I personally feel that we're entering into a time where what you want, if it comes from the heart and the soul, can immediately be got. You see, we need to forget about all of these worldly desires, all of these nice things. You see, we need to start vibrating and thinking at an absolutely higher level. You need to start asking for things that money can't buy. You need to start asking for wisdom that goes beyond human comprehension. You need to start asking for inspiration that will allow you to keep on creating. You see, everything that you ask for from a place of genuineness, a place of purity, and a place of sincerity, I can promise you it will give you the material things that you want. If this video worked and you tried what I said, you aligned yourself to your true self, you then posed the question to your true self, you posed the question to your heart, what is it that I need? And in the silent voice of your heart, you hear love, you hear joy, you hear peace. And then you say very, very calmly, with utmost assurance, I align to peace. I align to joy. I align to wisdom. I promise you, you will begin to see a change. Try it out. Let me know. I sincerely wish you a peaceful, loving, great day. Thank you so much.